Welcome to our live stream this morning. I'm David Kirk with Epiphan Video. I head up our marketing group, and I got George Herbert here with me, who leads our technical support and training group. This morning we want to make a big announcement. We're launching a brand new product. It's called Pearl 2, and this is it right here in front of me. I'm going to talk a little bit about what this product is. It is a live switcher. It is a streaming and recording box, and it's meant to be really an all-in-one. Take it into a venue and do your live production from anywhere. And so I'm going to let George walk through some of the detailed features of the box. This is brand new today, launching on our website in the next hour or so. And so we'll fill you in on some of the details.
Right. As Dave mentioned, Pearl 2 is a standalone all-in-one device for live production, recording, streaming. The advantage with Pearl 2 is we can capture 6 video inputs, create multiple output streams, do recording simultaneously. We also have video outputs for larger monitoring, for confidence monitoring, or to pass on to other systems. Some of the big advantages of a standalone box is that we can do customized layouts for live switching. We can do scaling on the box, as well as cropping control and a number of other features that give us a lot of advantages in a live production scenario.
Yeah, and there are a few different ways you can control this box in a live scenario or even in an installed scenario. We've got a full API that you can integrate into whatever control system you have today. Of course, we've got a web UI that's built into Pearl 2 itself, so you can control through that. And then, of course, there's a touch screen on the front that allows you to do confidence monitoring, some live switching, starting your streaming and recording. All of those basic functions are all available right on the touch screen. And then we've got a mobile-friendly web interface that you can use on your tablet or your phone that gives you access to those same kind of controls to be able to do that confidence monitoring or switching and all of those kind of functions.
So with the flexibility of the different inputs, the methods of control, it means that we can see Pearl being used in a lot of different use cases. Live event production is obviously a big one, and extremely flexible with Pearl 2 as a lightweight standalone box. Yeah. But that also carries over into a lot of different other scenarios. Education, user experience labs, enterprise scenarios, corporate video production, and so on. It means that there's a lot of areas that can be touched by Pearl 2.
Yeah, and this product is brand new for us, but of course it is based on a previous product that we've had out for almost 2 years on the market now, which was Pearl. And so when we look at Pearl 2 versus Pearl, there are a number of very major upgrades that we've added into the box for this release. So first and foremost, a new Intel processor inside here that's much beefier than what was in the original Pearl. And of course, to take advantage of that, we've added 4K capability to this box. So we've got 4K encoding and capture, 4K output and streaming. So that's both on the HDMI side as well as the SDI side. So we've got 12G SDI that can bring in your 4K, or you can bring it in over HDMI. So that 4K capability is a real big add to this box, and we see people doing that. We've had a lot of people asking for just a very simple scenario where they've got maybe a production like this. They might have some slides, they might have some live people on camera. They want to switch between those two and then stream and record that, and Pearl 2 can do that easily. In other cases where you've got 4 HD streams, so your sources aren't 4K, but you got 4 of them to contend with, and you want to multi-view them all together into one larger 4K output, and Pearl 2 can handle that one also. Another case we've seen, which is really interesting, is taking a 4K base shot, so a wide shot of your set, and then cropping out HD portions of that. So getting 1080p or 720p segments of that big 4K frame and switching between those live to make it look like you've got a multi-camera setup when really you're operating with one 4K camera and the switching based in Pearl 2. More and more we're finding in meeting rooms and large event venues and things, 4K is really becoming the new equipment standard. It's not everywhere yet, but we are running into it more and more. And one of the things we did with Pearl 2 was the ability to bring that signal in, but also scale it in hardware. So the case where you're walking into a scenario where you need HD or you need to record and stream at 720 or full HD, but what you're being presented at the venue is 4K signals, you need to be able to deal with that. And instead of having a separate scaler, you can bring those directly into Pearl 2 and we'll scale them in hardware and bring them down to 1080, and then you can just process them as you would any other HD signal.
It is designed to be a very professional box with all those features Dave was mentioning, along with audio features. We have XLR inputs for audio, so we can bring in professional level audio signals, but we do also have some auxiliary audio inputs using RCA jacks for more standard audio signals to come from an MP3 player or a laptop. So a lot of flexibility there. We also have integration. Dave mentioned the APIs earlier. We also have hardware RS-232 ports on the back of Pearl 2 to integrate with those APIs. We also have some programmable blocks that will be enabled later for custom integrations. And a lot of different inputs. We talked about some of the 4K HDMI, standard HD HDMI, 12G SDI. So all told, there are 6 video inputs on Pearl 2, and we can capture HD across all of those. They all are digital inputs. At this day and age, digital is the way to go, and we're seeing that everywhere now. So there's no VGA on this device or any old legacy video inputs, just the HDMI and SDI digital signals. It is a very rugged box. Everything is made out of a high quality metal, designed to be road ready. Going to be very durable as it's being moved around from venue to venue. And then when it comes to offloading content, obviously as a live streaming and recording device, it has gigabit Ethernet directly on the device, but we also have USB 3 ports on the front and the back that we can use to offload recorded content. And so that gives us a lot of power and flexibility for dealing with that content we create.
Yeah, perfect. So as we mentioned at the top of the stream here, this is a brand new product. It's being announced today. It will be on our website today, so you can find out a whole lot more details, brochures, manuals, all that kind of stuff will all be up there, so you can go digging for all the details that George has mentioned and more. It is available for order now as well, so we're ready to sort of start getting these out the door. We're into production with these. And we have a live studio here in our Ottawa office, and George operates that studio and is able to give you a custom demo. So if you'd like to see a lot more of those features and you want to get sort of a hands-on demo where we'll be the hands and you be the eyes, we'll show you everything about the box. You can contact us just at info@epiphan.com and request a demo for Pearl 2. We'd be happy to show you a whole lot more of what this little box can do.
Absolutely. So we did have a few questions that were submitted ahead of time from some of our people who saw the announcement kind of a few days in advance. One of the first questions, and this definitely comes from someone who is an existing Pearl customer, does it come with a case?
Oh, yes, it does come with a case. So like its predecessor Pearl, comes with a kind of heavy-duty road case. This box, as George mentioned, is meant to be taken on the road. We didn't mention that the hard drive in here is SSD, and that was feedback that we got from Pearl customers who said, I want to take this on the road, I want it to be super rugged. So we do have that hard shell case, and this is meant to be sort of lugged around and carried on the road.
The other question was, and this is obviously going to be pretty common for anybody in production space, but what codecs do we support with Pearl 2?
Right, okay. Well, we support H.264 is the most common one that people are using. We support Motion JPEG and MPEG-4 as well. But future, we may be able to add more codecs to this box. So right out of the gate, it's H.264 is the primary one that most people are using. But part of that processor upgrade that we put into Pearl 2 was looking ahead to be able to support more codecs in the future.
Absolutely. We touched on this a little bit, but maybe we can clarify. How many sources can we stream and record at the same time on Pearl 2?
Oh, okay. How many sources can we stream and record? Well, we can bring in 6 live HD sources at a time, and we can switch between any of those. And between those 6 sources, you can set up multiple streams or channels, outputs that you want to record and stream. So you can set up to 6 of those at HD and be streaming and recording those simultaneously. Switching between any of the 6 inputs, you can associate them kind of freely between each of those streams that you're creating, which inputs you'd like to have. Picture-in-picture and branding and this kind of stuff is all built in, so you can basically create your custom layouts that you want and switch in between them. So it's really 6 HD inputs live, and then 6 HD streams streaming out or recording at the same time. When we look at the 4K, it's a little bit different. We can bring in a couple 4K signals at a time and switch between those and create one 4K stream that can be recorded and streamed. Or we can bring in multiple 4K streams. We can bring in 4K streams and in hardware scale those down to 1080 so that then you can bring those in and create multiple HD streams out of those.
Another question here, obviously, from someone looking at it as a permanent installation scenario.
Right.
Can we mount it in a rack?
Okay. Yes, so the predecessor to this one, Pearl, had 3 kind of flavors, if you want. We had our portable version that this one is modeled after, and then it had 2 rack mount versions, a rack mount and a rack mount twin. And we'll be coming out with rack mount and rack mount twin versions of the Pearl 2. You'll see that later this calendar year. But this announcement is really focused on the portable one that comes with that carry case that you can lug around from place to place.
Perfect. And I guess another question from a previous Pearl customer, I guess they're looking for reassurance. Does this product do everything that Pearl does?
Yeah, at a high level, I would say yes. It does everything that Pearl does. It certainly inherits a lot of the features, or all of the features, really, that Pearl had. There aren't VGA ports directly in, so that's one little change. We've really focused on digital signals here as we see the change in the market from a VGA in an analog world to a fully digital world. So I would say probably the VGA is the only sort of feature that we've removed, if you want to look at it that way. But what we added were a couple more HD ports that are digital to replace those. But in terms of all the switching, recording, streaming, scaling, all of that stuff, it inherits all of those features from Pearl. So it really starts there, and then we'll build on that as we go forward.
And
add.
again, we did get that as feedback from customers saying,
Absolutely.
Really as time goes on, the need for more HD inputs, digital inputs, as opposed to old legacy VGA stuff, which is sort of transitioning out.
Exactly.
But you can always do a conversion if you have to, I guess.
You can, and that brings up a good point. I mean, a lot of the changes that we made, George mentioned XLR and RCA, and that's a change for us. The original Pearl had TRS inputs on the audio side. And we've learned a lot over the last 2 years from the customers who've been using Pearl, and we've kind of baked all of that feedback into this next generation. So there's a lot of the feedback directly from customers, embedding the power supply, switching to an SSD drive, the XLR inputs. There's a whole bunch of stuff there that we added, upgrading the USB from USB 2 to USB 3 to get faster file transfer and all that sort of thing. So it really is a big refresh on the hardware side.
But it really is a whole new product at the same time, but we've just learned so much from
Exactly,
the
yeah. And we're really starting from where Pearl is today. So it inherits all of those features, and then we'll get some new features going forward as well.
So I think we do have a couple questions live.
Okay, great.
Just take a look.
I'll give that to you to read.
So we have a question out of the Netherlands, which is great. Worldwide reach. Will Pearl be able to support a slide presentation over USB? That's a good question, actually. That's an interesting one.
So we're talking about bringing in a video input over USB from a laptop or from some computer source. Is that, yeah?
Yeah,
Is that
maybe
how you would interpret
that
that? So right out of the box, or right today, the answer is no. So the inputs that we've outlined here, the HDMI, the SDI, those are the video inputs. But there are USB 3 inputs on the back of Pearl, and we do plan in the very near future with a firmware update to be able to enable those to be UVC and UAC capable. So then you could connect any USB-based device to be able to bring that video in.
With UVC, that could mean a webcam or even our own AVIO products, which
Exactly.
can enable VGA even.
Exactly. So then, whether your slides are coming through some kind of frame grabber or some other technology or a webcam directly over USB, you'll be able to bring that video and audio directly into Pearl. But that's a future sort of release. It's coming soon, but day one out of the box, it's SDI, HDMI are the video inputs. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, do we have any other?
No?
Well, there's a clarification on that question.
Okay.
He's specifying what about a PowerPoint file displayed?
Okay, so the actual
The actual file.
Okay. That is on our list of things to add to Pearl 2 in the future. It's not something that's in the box today. But that has been a very popular request, is to be able to have file-based assets that we can draw on directly from within Perl, and that is something you'll see in the future on Perl 2 for sure.
And definitely having the USB 3 ports gives us the ability to ingest those very quickly.
Exactly.
From a lot of different points.
Exactly.
So yeah, that should.
Yeah. So
the hardware's there.
That'll be coming. Exactly. Yeah. All right. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. In summary, we've got a great new product we're announcing today. Go to our website, check out all the details. If you want to know a lot more about it and kind of get a real sense for what the product can do, book a demo with George. Just contact us via our website. There's a request a demo link there, or you can just send something to info@epiphan.com. And George will be happy to give you a full sort of custom tour of everything that Perl 2 can do. And we look forward to getting these out in the market real soon.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks a lot. Take care.